Have you ever felt like you're playing a part in a play that you never ever auditioned for? Like someone just handed you a script for how to be a man, and you've been desperately trying to follow it ever since. The pressure to be charismatic, be in good shape, make lots of money, keep up with technology, and somehow always be calm and under control. But what if that very script is the invisible force shattering you from within? So today, we uncover the hidden causes that make depression in men feel like a personal failure, when really it's often a preventable inner battle against unrealistic societal expectations and our own internalized negative scripts. Wouldn't you rather write your own script of life and play the role that you were uniquely born to live? Stay with me, because understanding all of this is your first step towards freedom. Before we dive in, I want to let you know about us here at Martha Minds. We're a next generation of mental health clinics offering breakthrough treatments like Spravato and ketamine therapy to treat depression. Check us out at marthaminds.com. Depression. It affects over 6 million men in America every year, yet it's chronically underdiagnosed because of deep-seated stigma that stops men seeking help, even when they really need it. And this is one of the main factors explaining why, unfortunately, 80% of suicides are men. 80%. And it's not that men have more depression than women. They actually don't. Women are more likely to experience depression. There does seem to be a unique experience of psychological and emotional distress that men go through. And often it doesn't seem like depression or sadness to other people. So when men are depressed, other people just notice them being a bit more angry, irritable, insecure, or engaging in reckless behaviors. So this can make it really hard to spot and address depression in men. Let's look at this. From the moment we are boys, society gives us this rigid role to play. We don't choose it. Again, we simply fall into it. And those boys then become men, but our role stays the same. The script that we learn to use remains unchanged as we get older. Our male role models, they pass down this same script and often don't show us how to break out of that script in order to achieve a more emotionally and psychologically fulfilling life. So let's unpack what is in this masculinity script. First of all, let's be honest. Most men feel this expectation to be the lead character, to always know what to say and what to do. Whatever the problem, we can fix it. We aren't allowed to be the supporting actor because it's not the best, is it? And keep in mind that this masculinity script puts so much pressure on us to have all the answers, but to rarely ask questions, to show any weakness or ever reach out for help. And my own personal experiences of depression as David, painful and heavy. And they've been totally made worse by my own unhelpful internalized beliefs that I'm not good enough, I never will be, that I'm supposed to be something and someone that I can never achieve. It's this illusory, always somewhere far away. So let's look now at some common cultural expressions that influence how we men relate to ourselves and our complex emotional world within. As boys we hear, boys don't cry. And then as men we learn, take it like a man up, or be a man. These expressions are cultural memes. They teach us men to suppress weakness, to endure hardship, push through difficulty without complaining. So masculinity, therefore, turns into this emotional suppression, a rigid duty to stop emotions getting in the way of pretending that everything's okay. It mutates into this impossible situation where we constantly prove ourselves to others and never show any weaknesses, whilst at the same time not being allowed to show dependence on anyone else or admit when times get hard. So manhood has become for many of us a kind of test that we can only ever pass if emotions like vulnerability, fear, tenderness or depression are hidden away. This is a powerful but damaging cultural legacy passed down through the generations, and it equates our sense of worth with being able to sustain unbreakable emotional control. And this isn't about blaming our fathers or grandfathers, God bless them. It's about recognizing the patterns where talking about sadness or anxiety gets branded as weak and unmanly, leading men to bury their emotions deep down inside. And men have achieved a lot over the last few centuries. We've had to be seriously tough just to survive history. But we need to get out of survival mode, guys, because all of our suppressed feelings don't actually disappear. The more they're pushed down inside, the more they fester within us, leaving us isolated and trapped, unable to make sense of what we're actually feeling or what to do about it next. We feel literally blocked up and overwhelmed with nowhere and no one to go to. Culturally, this masculinity script traps men in an invisible cage where we seem outwardly perfect, but inwardly there's a private torment, grinding pressure inside of us filled with doubt. And as the research shows, the more high pressure a man's life and their job, the higher their sense of never being good enough, feeling more depressed, being more at risk of suicide. Here is a staggering fact. 30 years ago, 55% of men reported having 6 or more close friends. Now, barely 27% do. It's halved. And the number of men without any close friends has leaped from just 3% of men to now 15% of men don't have one close friend. So men are lonelier than ever at a time of our greatest ever emotional need right now. We've had to learn to become the masters of escape, escaping our inner conflicts, escaping our deeper emotional reality, escaping our true self. We're running away from who we are because it doesn't seem valid or sufficient or simple. And this is why men are much more likely to experience addiction, die by suicide, or have a midlife breakdown. There's a famous therapist I really like. His name's Terry Real. He specializes in men's mental health. One of his best-selling books is called I Don't Want to Talk About It. He talks about men and depression in this book. He says that a depressed man tends to appear very different to a depressed woman, who are generally more open and expressive about feeling down or stuck. Men, on the other hand, are taught to be silent and stoic with their pain. So this makes it come out, their pain, sideways, like isolationism, workaholism, anger, rage, addiction. And now, quote from Terry Real's book. He says, "For many men, the wound is not just that they feel inadequate, but that they believe they must never let anyone see it, their inadequacy." He says that the only way to heal your wound is to do the opposite of what you've always done before. So instead of isolation and shame, let yourself own your pain without judgment or blame. It rhymes. Embrace it with self-compassion, and then share this new vulnerability with those that you love. So, gentlemen, let's be proud to flip this script. Let's celebrate it when men pivot towards solutions that break the cycle of shame and isolation that have kept us trapped for far too long in the past. Let's empower men to embrace more emotional openness and vulnerability. Let's prioritize social connections, because this idea that we've got to figure it all out by ourselves, otherwise it doesn't count, or we're weak, is ridiculous, isn't it? Men need friends. We need to ask for help. And yes, it takes time to learn new things. And there's always that fear of rejection and blame. But be brave and don't give up on you being worthy of being liked. So flipping this masculinity script can be scary, I know, but it's also exciting as there's so much potential on the other side that's waiting to be let out. We are complicated and mysterious men, but this is a gift to be proud of. We just need the self-love and the patience to delicately unwrap all the complex emotional and mental layers of who we really are. And the good news is, we don't have to do it alone anymore, do we? Here's one more final powerful way to look at this. When we work on our mental health by doing things like owning our pain, opening up to others, getting help from professionals, we are right there and then flipping the script over, because we're giving ourselves permission to get messy, to be broken, to not be perfect anymore, to let ourselves be good enough just the way we are, and to be okay even if we don't always feel okay. Alright friends, so remember, whoever you are, depression doesn't define you. It's a signal to rewrite your script with compassion, but also action. In this series about men's mental health, part 2, I'm going to dive into the men's mental health toolbox. These are things that other men are using in real life to thrive, and I hope to see you there next after this. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Marper Minds, everyone. We at Marper Minds are a network of next generation mental health clinics delivering Spravato and ketamine treatment to patients with depression. To find out more information, go to marperminds.com. My name is David Drapkin, and I would love you to join this conversation, so please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Cheers for now. Thanks again for watching, and thanks to Marper Minds, a network of next-generation mental health clinics offering Spravato and ketamine treatment for depression. Go to marperminds.com for more information. This media production is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional, medical, mental health, or legal advice. If you need support, please consult a qualified professional, and we do not encourage or condone illegal activities. Please educate yourself on the laws in your region and consult a medical professional before making any health-related decisions.